Hey everyone, my name is Hannah, and as a hobby, I paint Windstone Editions sculptures, which are these beautifully cast gypsum statues that come to me as blanks. In this video, I'll be painting a hippocampus in a scheme I've previously done called Deepwater Dun. This is the first time making a video like this, so please forgive the obvious lack of good lighting and constant movement of the piece I'm working on. I'll get better at this, I promise. So gypsum is a pretty porous material. The first layer of paint that you put on generally will get soaked in pretty well into the gypsum. A lot of people like to do a primer coat, but I prefer the way that the paint soaks in, actually. So I just start painting right on the raw gypsum. I will tend to do several coats of paint, and enough so that I didn't record myself doing all of the coats in this video because it's very difficult to see with this camera. I will try to speed up some of the footage a little bit extra because otherwise this would be a very long video. But when I am moving the piece around and I had sped up the video a lot, it started to make me a little bit seasick, so I will slow it down again for those parts. So this is where I am adding the second coat of paint to the scales on the hippocampus, and it is a little hard to see, but I'm including it just so that you can see my process. It's basically the exact same as when I'm putting the first coat on. I'm just adding 3 different colors. I will wet blend them together, which just means I put the colors directly on the statue, and then I take a clean slightly damp brush and kind of mix them together directly on the piece. This adds richness to the color, and it also helps to clear up any little mistakes or to smooth out details. You may notice that it looks like I'm using the brush on areas that have already been painted. What I'm doing here is just using a clean, wet brush to take off any overpaint that might have gotten on those completed scales. I'm also tipping the piece a lot here so that I can make sure that the blue fade is lining up properly with the other side. So I skipped forward quite a bit here. I didn't record myself doing any of the extra coats of paint on the front of the horse half, and I just did a couple of extra coats of paint on the tail half, so I didn't think that it'd be easy to see. I should have done a video of the horse part, but I didn't, so I'm sorry about that. I follow the same process as I did with the tail. I just go over with the same paint in several coats, adding detail and smoothing out some transitions. Here I have painted the rock a very dark, kind of stormy blue. I did a solid coat of that, and now I'm dry brushing all of the details onto the rock. Dry brushing is a really simple, pretty easy way to add detail to a piece. If you use a darker coat of paint underneath the dry brushing, it's a pretty simple way to add a lot of depth and shadow. Now I'm just detailing the piece with interference gold. It adds a little bit of extra depth and shine to the piece, and I especially love the way that it looks on lighter colors. It gives it this really lovely pearlescent look. And here's the finished piece. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any suggestions. I'm still so very new to this, so please let me know if you have any ideas for me, and if you'd like to see something like this again.